up, YouTube? It's Rebecca with a quick video. Well, welcome to the first episode of the first 15. So basically, I'm just going to do really just the first half of my videos where I'm not really going to have an update. I have a lot of samples and just some fragrances that I have that have just been sitting around and just hadn't got a chance to do like a full-length video on them just because, you know, I'm only really doing 2 videos a week now. But I figured if I could just, you know, give you guys a quick first impression of a fragrance, the first 15 minutes of a fragrance, that I, might be able to get some more videos out to you guys. I was going to put these on Instagram only, but I did put a poll out there, and a lot of you guys actually said you would rather see them on YouTube. And who knows, maybe I'll put them on Instagram as well and share them on both platforms. But yeah, I was happy to see you guys actually voted. I think it was like 73% of y'all said you guys wanted it on YouTube, so that's awesome. Again, this is gonna be very laid back, not so many jump cuts, not a lot of segments and whatnot. It's gonna be more kind of just one shot. Try to anyway. Sometimes I do the segments because I sort of mess up sometimes, or I ramble and I got to edit it down for time. But these videos are gonna be just kind of short. I'm gonna try to keep them as short as possible without boring you guys too much. And this is the first episode, so I'm doing a little more explaining of the actual format than I normally would for every episode. I moved to full bottles a while back, so I just think it's better. It's better for my channel to show you guys the box and the bottle, and it looks better that way. But I feel like I'm leaving a lot of fragrances on the table, if you will. Sometimes literally, I'm literally leaving them there on the table because I'm not bringing them to you because they don't have the box and a bottle. I just have a sample and whatnot. So I thought this would be a good idea. We'll see how long I keep doing this. I'm not really sure. But right now we're going to talk about a fragrance from the House of Imaginary Authors. It's been a while since I've talked about anything from this house. I'll actually link. I want to say I had a bunch of videos I did. I did one video for each of the samples they sent me. In retrospect, I probably should have just done one long video. But I will leave a link to a few of those down below, or out to the playlist or something like that. That way you guys can check those out. It's a very, very old, those videos are very, very old, so bear with me. It's a completely different format back then. I was just getting started, really. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about a fragrance from the House of Imaginary Authors. I did get this sample from, I think I bought a fragrance from someone online and they sent me a free sample, and so, but it's the official sample. That's, one of the reasons why I wanted to start with this one, because I was really wanting to try this one and see what it's about. Sometimes these samples don't have enough juice, honestly, for me to get a full first impressions. That's another reason why I do the full bottle, because they have plenty of juice in the bottle to use and I get a full first impressions. But again, sometimes I go through a sample really quick. But yeah, so from the House of Imaginary Authors, here is the bottle. Let's see if we can get that zoomed in there. Probably not, but it is Telegramma. So Telegramma from the House of Imaginary Authors. Let's see if we can get that in there. I believe we got that right there. Telegramma is from the House of Imaginary Authors. It is a unisex fragrance. It's an aromatic fougere released in 2019. The nose of this, the house and the fragrance, who's an amazing guy. I've read a little bit about his personal life and sort of how he does his business. He has a great story. It's Josh Meyer, or Mayer, however you want to pronounce it. This is an eau de parfum concentration. The notes in this fragrance are talc, lavender, black pepper, teak, amorous, vanilla, and linen. I like lavender. I'm not a huge fan of it. Most lavender fragrances tend to, you can really spot that lavender if they're lavender heavy. It's funny, I noticed that the juice is slightly tinted green, which sort of reminded me of Taste of Heaven. I think it's what it's called, by Killian. I call that one the Hulk. It has a very dark green juice. And that one also reminds me of Un Couronne d'Homme or something like that, from the House of Couronne. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It comes also in green juice. This has a slight green juice to it, but again, not as dark as those. So yeah, I'm guessing the lavender is going to be very heavy in this. I'm guessing it's going to be very powdery from the talc. Don't know anything about this fragrance. I just really wanted to try it. Figured I would share my first impressions with you guys. The first 15 minutes, if you will. And I probably won't make these videos 15 minutes long. I'll just be kind of jumping around, sometimes I jump around in my other videos, my full-length videos, because, I'll sit there like this for a couple of minutes sometimes if I'm still trying to figure out what I'm getting. So, obviously you guys don't want to see that, so I have to jump around. I got to edit those pauses out and stuff for the respect of time. So I'll do that here as well. I don't know how long these videos are going to be. All I know is that I'm going to literally review them in the first 15 minutes and see what I get. So we'll see how it goes after 15 minutes. So let's give this fragrance a couple of sprays here for our first impression. Telegramma from the House of Imaginary Authors. Let's give it a try. Okay. Okay, wow. Yeah. It's a very old school type of opening. Not exactly what I was expecting to get. I'm getting the talc. Something in this smells very old school though. The lavender isn't the sort of lavender I was expecting. Whenever I get lavender, it's more like Grise Claire, if you guys ever tried that from Serge Lutens, or even like Lavender Extreme from Tom Ford. That one has a lot of vanilla and lavender, I believe. Or like I mentioned, Taste of Heaven. Most of those have like that strong lavender top note. I'm not getting this. This is actually like really sweet. So I'm getting the vanilla because I'm getting like a gourmand sort of feel with this fragrance. But something in this is giving it a bit of dated feel. Okay, so it's spicy and sweet. So right now I'm getting the vanilla, the black pepper, and the talc. The talc and the linen are giving it a bit of like a dryer, or not dryer sheets, like fresh linens kind of scent you get, you know, like clean laundry, I guess you want to, you know. But it's definitely spicy, definitely sweet. The lavender isn't that typical lavender that I've gotten in other fragrances. But this isn't that bad. Again, not what I was expecting. Don't know what amorous is. But yeah, sweet. It's kind of sharp. It's spicy. Definitely the black pepper for the spiciness. So right now, imagine a spicy, creamy vanilla that's powdery. Yeah, I don't know, like what Josh, like what, you know, why he decided to make this fragrance or even to combine these notes. But it's not bad. A lot of his creations can be a little, ooh, you know, I don't know what you guys were doing. Because, you know, it's imaginary authors. I know that they have like an imaginary note and it's kind of a story behind it. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Chatillon-Lou, which is a house out of St. Louis, Missouri, independent house. And they sort of have a little story, which I think I love that about these two houses. They have little stories about their fragrances. And so when you read the story and you smell the fragrance, it actually tells a story. Which is very, very cool. Not everyone's doing that. This house is the same way. But I don't know where, you know, like how he comes up with his creations. But this one isn't bad. A lot of my biggest gripe with the house was that a lot of them, in my opinion, weren't very wearable. I think my favorite one is Cape Heartache, and that had strawberries and pine, and I believe it had some woods in it or some resins or whatnot. That one to me was probably the best that always just comes to memory, that I liked a lot. There's a couple of others that I liked, but that one really stood out amongst the others in the line that I felt was the most wearable, that I could really enjoy the most. This one is pleasant. I think the sweetness is what really helps this fragrance out, because it makes it more approachable. It's super powdery from that talc and that linen combination. So it's got a clean smell to it. Again, not getting that typical lavender that I'm used to getting. Yeah, so it's been a couple of minutes and, you know, it's gotten a little bit sweeter. But it really is holding on to the four notes that I mentioned that I'm getting the most, which is the vanilla, the pepper, the talc, and the linen. I'm sure the lavender's in there. I'm kind of happy that the lavender isn't like your typical lavender fragrance, because usually that note, in my opinion, usually dominates the entire thing. Like you'll get that lavender and then like other stuff like some sweetness, or you get this and that, but the lavender is usually dominant. And that's all that my brain gets, is that one lavender note. So I'm kind of glad that it didn't go heavy with the lavender in this. And I'm sure it'll peek its head out a little bit later, but I'm just kind of glad right now that's not all I'm getting. Yeah, I definitely, you know, I don't know if this is bottle worthy for me, but I definitely like this fragrance. And I definitely think this is wearable. Another one, again, not my favorite, but I think this one can be pulled off. Some of the other creations in the line, not so sure you can really pull them off. But this one isn't that bad. But again, it's up to you guys, you know, to decide if you like, you know, a certain fragrance or not. But this one's not bad. Super powdery is what I'm getting. Sweet and powdery at the end of the day. It really is sweet vanilla powder. But yeah, so my first impressions, my first 15 minutes on Telegramma. I think I said Telegramma earlier. I hope I didn't say just Telegram. But Telegramma from the House of Imaginary Authors is not bad. Again, wouldn't mind wearing the rest of this sample one day and just seeing what it's about and seeing how it develops and whatnot. But right now, it's not a bad fragrance. So if you guys have tried Telegramma from the House of Imaginary Authors, let me know your thoughts on this fragrance down in the comments. Do you guys like it, love it, or hate it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So thanks for tuning into the first episode of the first 15. Again, this one might have been a lame first attempt, but they'll get better. I got plenty of samples. I got plenty of other bottles and stuff that I just haven't gotten to yet that I think would be like really great to just go ahead and do something sort of off the cuff. I think it's fun because, you know, doing the segmented stuff and, you know, I got to write the script out and everything like that. It just sort of just takes forever. And, you know, it just takes a while. So it can get annoying. So it's better when I can just kind of be myself and just sort of talk to you guys with my initial thoughts without having to go into a bunch of cuts and a bunch of segments. All right, thank you guys so much for watching our video on my channel. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future first impressions videos and fragrance-related content just like this. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There, you'll find fragrance-related photos and future contest winners. And as always, until the next video, you guys take care. Thanks.